And with that said, let's move on to our second topic of the ProduceCast, and this is going to be our review of IZONE's comeback album entitled Hard Eyes. Nate, since I did all the talking in the previous episode, you can take it away.
Yep. So yeah, like Andrew said, we're going to be reviewing IZONE's comeback album, which is their second mini album, Heart Eyes. And we're starting it off with Hey Bae Like It. And this song is exactly what I expected hearing the name of the song. It's just like that super bouncy, cute electronic pop music. It reminded me a lot of Rollin' Rollin' from Produce 48.
Yep.
It's very similar to that song. And I love that song. I don't think you did. So I'm sure you didn't like the song very much. But I enjoyed it. I think the instrumentals are a little basic for this song. But I think they do their job well, at least. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a fun way to start the album off.
Yep. Hey Bae, I don't like it. It kind of sounds like an objectively worse version of, remember Color Eyes off of the first the song Color Eyes? It just kind of sounds like a worse version of that. Like on its own, I probably wouldn't have not liked it as much, but there's a song that comes up later on this album that kind of makes this song completely redundant in terms of the style of song that they're going after. So I think that's why I just ended up not liking it as much. Yeah,
I guess that I could see that, going back to it after hearing Airplane, which I assume what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Would make it a little less effective.
Yeah. And I can only handle so much One Young QT voice as a human being.
That's why it reminded me of Rollin' Rollin'.
It's basically just Rollin' QT One Young voice. I can only handle so much of it. I'm sorry. So it's not that bad, but I mean, yeah, it kind of just ends up being completely redundant after hearing Airplane.
Yeah. And next we have the single off the album, Violeta. Violeta. And I like that they're having this theme with their title tracks, flower theme. And then also I like that they're sticking along the style of La Vie en Rose, doing a more mature, elegant type song, and keeping the cute stuff for the album. I think it's a good mixture because of they actually do this, surprisingly, considering how young a lot of them are. They do this very well.
Yeah.
And so they can obviously do the cutesy fun songs like Airplane and Hey Bae I Like It, but they actually do this really well. So I like that they're sticking with this theme.
That was a pretty big worry for us going into IZONE, that we're
general,
oh god, we're oh god, they're just gonna make it a super cutesy group and they're gonna do nothing to differentiate them from I don't know like IOI or whatever.
Yeah. So and then they came out with La Vie en Rose and we're
and they were nope, we just ate all of our words.
Yeah. Also, this is very similar to La Vie en Rose. But it has a deep house drop, so it's so good.
It's so good.
Now, that being said, I think I like La Vie en Rose better, but I didn't think they would come anywhere close to making a follow-up as good as it.
Yeah,
and I think they got very, very close. This is just a tiny step under it for me, and I could see myself even growing to like this more. But yeah, I was very surprised at how good this song was, considering how good their first song was. I think the music video is aesthetic as hell. I love it.
It's so good.
There isn't much going on in it, but it's fine because it just looks so good. It's just so aesthetically pleasing. And I like in the choreography, there's little throwbacks to La Vie en Rose.
Yeah, they do
They do the hand part and stuff. There's a couple little throwbacks, and it's nice because they have this theme of the songs are similar style. They have the flower theme with the names and the choreography both have flowery type moves in them.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall I love the choreography. It's great. There's a lot of really intricate hand movements and stuff. It was a fantastic comeback and way better than I think I kept my expectations a little low because of how much I liked La Vie en Rose.
Yeah.
And so this made it seem way better.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote this as a comment like on our Produce 48, but I guess I'll just reiterate it here where like for me specifically, like my biggest problem with K-pop or my biggest gripe with K-pop is that with comebacks it's usually, or the way groups work, it's usually either A, they rehash the same goddamn song over and over again and they beat it to a pulp, or they just like go completely abandon concepts like willy-nilly, like left and basically it's the I'm literally quoting this as it's the Diamomo Land conundrum where one group just does a completely different song every single time, one group just can't stop doing the same song over and over again. So and it almost feels like trying to find like that perfect balance between like innovating or like iterating upon like the style that a group made as their debut without like completely abandoning the sound that you fell in love with in the first place. It feels like chasing a unicorn. Violeta is that unicorn. Like it's a perfect blend of like thematically and like sonically it sounds similar to La Vie en Rose, or it's the same style as La Vie en Rose, but it completely changed it, like I guess the overall sound by having this like house drop, and it still manages to fit what IZONE is as a group perfectly. And that's like trying to contextualize that, that's almost impossible, like trying to like make a song that sounds just as good as like your debut or just as good as your most popular song without just completely copying it. That's so hard. Like even like any artist like really is, it's very hard to do that. So like I have to applaud like the production team behind this. I believe it was produced by one half of E1. His name is the production team E1. His name is Choi Hyunjun, who worked on Wooju Sonyo's Secret, and which is one of my favorite songs. Like one of my favorite songs by Wooju Sonyo. And you definitely in the pre-chorus you definitely get that Wooju Sonyo vibe out of it. And I've mentioned time and again before, like Wooju Sonyo is probably my favorite IOI branch. So for them to sort of incorporate that here, I'm all for it. I am 100% for bringing more of this like house chiptunesy type of thing into girl group music, because no one does it. They're always, it feels like a lot of girl groups are afraid to do this type of sound or like this incorporate house into their music. Like we hear it a lot from like guy groups or whatever. Like that's a normal thing. But I mean, the only girl groups that really incorporate house is probably like and do it prominently is probably IZONE and like Luna. That's it. Like
and GWSN.
Like you're pretty much the only groups that are like, and by doing that, it's them pushing the envelope in some degree. Whereas I feel like it should be more of a standard to some degree, as just as much as, I don't know, like tropical house or Latin songs are in terms of K-pop genres. One thing I was really impressed with is I think everyone managed to stand out like equally, which is a very hard thing to do with a 12-member group, and not to mention the line distribution for a 12-member group where literally everyone gets a line is that's another feat to sort of be impressed with. For me, the two that stole it were Minju, because I'm sorry, Hyewon, but Minju had like the best rap verse on the entire song. I feel so bad, but like
it was weird. Didn't have a rap, but they gave it to Minju.
I don't mind, just because like
Minju did a good job.
Yeah, and I like Yena as a singer as well. So, but Minju just killed it. Like I didn't expect that coming out of her, in all honesty.
Yeah, same.
Also, An Yujin got a lot of focus, like when she's like doing the choreography in the water thing. That was really cool. Just, like the choreography for this entire like thing is incredible. Just like the dance part during the chorus, it's just like this really complicated like dance move sort of thing. Like I'm glad that again, like I'm really like a stickler when it comes to like choreography, especially for girl groups, and I love that like they're not playing it safe or easy when it comes to IZONE. They're really giving them complex choreography or just really intricate looking choreography, and I need more girl groups to do that. So hopefully we'll learn from this. The only thing is, I wish the MV kind of got to show it more, because like you barely get to see the choreography.
There really isn't much choreography in the
which is a shame. It's just because like watching the live stages, the choreography, the way that they sort of like organize the lines and everything is incredible. Like each different person of the group just gets their time in the center, which is really hard to do with these kind of groups. As you mentioned, like this MV's just aesthetic is all hell. Like the color pastel, it's like all these pastel greens, pinks. Like it's basically like an Easter looking music video. I love that sort of contrast that they're doing with it, and I love that the outfits sort of match that. Like, and they have like the pastel purple, so like it ties in with like the color violet and everything. Like there's a lot of thought put into like the color palette or the color direction of this music video. I know there's not a lot going on in the actual music video itself, but I love that attention to detail that they're putting into this song. So overall, like, it might just be recency bias, but I might like this song a lot better than La Vie en Rose, just because I'm such a sucker for house beats or house drops.
I am too, but yeah, it came really close, but La Vie en Rose is so good, and just
and it might also just be like how fast or like how cool the choreography looks for the chorus part. So it might just be a recency bias thing, but I mean, definitely let us know in the comments which one you prefer between Violeta and La Vie en Rose. I'd like to see what the consensus is.
Yeah. Next we have Highlight. It's cover of the group. And I thought this has a really awesome instrumental, like with a prominent like marimba bell type synth going on. And I just love how empty the like pre-chorus and the drop chorus are. It's another like deep house style drop chorus, but this one's a lot more sparse. And it just gives that like very spacious feeling. And then there's also like a lot of weird, mysterious sci-fi sounding synths for the chorus, with like really intricate stuff, a lot of like layering of different sounds. So yeah, a lot of the instrumentals stood out to me in the song. And then another thing was Yena's rap was fantastic.
Yeah, she killed it on this. It
should have gone on longer. It was too short.
So yeah, I mean, more house means I'm gonna like it way more, of course. Yep. It's got like this interesting sort of part where they do like some like trap R&B breakdown sort of thing. So it's like this like house beat, and they're incorporating a bit of like Red Velvety type of stuff into it as well, which like pulling from my favorite groups obviously and doing it into one song. Like it's like they're reading my mind in terms of like how to make the perfect like girl group song. The synth samples are definitely interesting. I'm pretty sure it's the same like sample pack that they use on the like the iPhone ringtone, like the dun 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 dun. Oh really? I'm pretty sure it is. It sounds exactly like the iPhone one. So I thought that was funny. But again, I'm glad that they're not shying away from using house when it comes to these girl group sort of things. And that's why I love this song ultimately. It's just, again, like they fit it so perfectly as well. Despite it not having the luxury of a visual element, IZONE just fits this perfectly, and I hope they keep incorporating different elements of house into their future songs. Yeah,
I agree. Next we have Really Like You. This is an acoustic ballad. I thought it was fantastic. It really shows off their great vocalists, although it does also showcase that some of them still need some help, especially the Japanese members. Definitely, you could tell they're a little more rough in their vocal abilities.
Hee-chan definitely kind of is rougher on the lyrics, but I love Hee-chan.
Yeah.
So.
But overall, I think like it's a great song, and yeah, like their main vocalists are so good. Like Yuri especially is insanely good.
Yuri,
singer.
Chaewon,
and Chaewon, yeah. So, and this showcases that well. Also, I love the rap part, especially since I like more sentimental, like emotional rapping parts. So like that having like a really good rap part in this acoustic ballad was great.
Basically anything that sounds like Epic.
Exactly. Just give me Epic High.
Epic High and IZONE.
Yeah.
You heard it here
first. I really like the ending where like there's like an extended forever fade out, and then it just ends with like with you. Like I thought that was a good ending.
I mean, I'm normally the guy that's kind of bored of these acoustic ballads that are kind of like this, but I feel like the vocalists that IZONE has on their repertoire make this way more of an interesting song than like any other acoustic ballad song would be. Also, I'm just attaching myself to this song now for when they sing this in their goodbye concert, and I'm just fucking crying like a baby. I'm just trying to get attached to it now before I have to. But yeah, this is like the vocals on this are definitely the standout, and I really hope they incorporate this a lot more into their albums. And I wouldn't be opposed to them doing an acoustic ballad song as a single like this, because again, they have the vocal chops to justify making a song like this a single, or like as a repackaged sort of thing. So,
yep. Next we have Airplane. And this is like we talked about before. It's bouncy, fun pop music, similar to Hey Bae Like It. I just love the mix of like the bright synths and then like the bouncy guitar parts. I think they mix really well, and then the chorus is insanely catchy. Like the AIRPLANE part's just gonna be stuck in my head for a long time. Like it's just such a fun. It's just such a fun, catchy song. And like this is what we expected from IZONE, based on like the final
the members
lineup. And yeah, I think they pull it off really well.
So this is produced by Daewoo, formerly of 101.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm just like at this point, just like let Daewoo be in a girl group already. God damn it! Like his the songs he produces for girl groups are just so, because he did a song for Produce 48. Remember, that was like the most cutesy song out of all of them, which is really funny.
Yeah,
like he's surprisingly good. He's really good at doing girl group songs. But I think the funniest thing about this is that he basically gave them a Twice song. Like it's not even just there's no qualms about it. He basically gave them a Twice song, and I think just the hilarity of that fact is why I ended up liking the song more than I thought it would, because like the structure is almost exactly like a Twice song. Like the lyric, he basically just gave them like ooh ah, like the lyrics, like the verses are pretty much like ooh ah, and then you even have like freaking like Jo Yuri's hitting like the Jihyo high notes and everything. Like it's almost like an exact copy. It's so funny, but yeah. It reminds me of the Twice B-sides that I did like back when, like, during, like, The Story Begins, like, that's sort of, like, early, like, Twice era, so I have an affinity for this sound, which is why I'm not really just, like, annoyed or I don't like the song or anything. I really enjoy that part, and also, they do it well. They do it surprisingly well, so I just wouldn't want this to be the single, honestly.
Yeah, like, I agree. I think it's good as an album track.
Yeah, just keep going with like the mature like house like sort of type of vibe, EDM type of vibe with the singles, and then you can do these as album tracks. But yep, awesome song for Daewoo to give them. And honestly, like Daewoo should just like it'd be funny if like freaking Ab6 just ended up being like sounding like this, like as a girl, even though they're a boy. I'd be all for that in all honesty, just like a boy Twice concept. Like think about how awesome that'd be. And Daewoo can pull it off, so like I have faith in him.
Next, we have Up, which is Tropical House.
It's a cover of the movie.
It's a cover of the movie. It's Tropical House. And literally my notes are: take note, Momoland. Here's how to make a fun, non-annoying Tropical House song. This is like my bread and butter. Everyone knows I love Tropical House, and this is just a really good, like, fun Tropical House song. I love the group layered, like, vocals layered with the high notes at the end. It just brought the end of the song to be like a really powerful ending, just the build up, and all with all the layers and stuff. So yeah, overall I loved it. Obviously I love Tropical House, and I like even though it's a different type of house, like having the house music interspersed throughout the album gave it a nice identity.
Yeah, it's got a bit of Tropical House. It also kind of reminds me of like early G-Friend to some degree, which is probably why I really like this song. Yeah, just because I'm a really big fan of G-Friend. But this song's incredible. Like this could have been a single. Like in all honesty, like this is my favorite of the album tracks, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite of their stages. Like the live stage for this is really good. You have to, if you haven't watched their showcase, like you really need to see the choreography for this because it's really good. But yeah, this is just this is how, yeah, again, like, you definitely, Momoland, take note, this is how you do, like, fun, upbeat, like, tropical house type songs. Man, it's just, yeah, I'm just really blown away with how many different, like, styles of house, or how many different genres that IZONE can tackle, and they seem to excel in almost everything that they do. So, and that's definitely something I really value in groups, is variety, and how you're able to transition your group identity from genre to genre like this. So, and it still manages to fit in with, like, songs like Highlight and Violeta. So just really, just I was shocked at how much I ended up enjoying the album tracks on this, because usually those are usually what determine what makes an album, what separates a good album from a great album, just what separates an album that has an awesome title track between an album that has a good title track and also having good album tracks. So yeah, this definitely solidified just how much I love this album.
Yep. And then we also have the Korean versions of the two of their Japanese songs, the unit songs. So we have Neko ni Naritai.
Neko ni Naritai, yep.
Naritai. So yeah, I honestly don't have too many notes about these. I didn't. My feelings didn't really change on them based on our review of them previously. But I like both of them a lot.
With Neko ni Naritai Korean version, it was the lyrics were actually translated into Korean by Minju, and for Gokigen Sayonara, it was translated into Korean by Chaeyeon. My only notes are, I actually liked Neko ni Naritai. Not necessarily just because it was in Korean, but this version had all 12 members, and I feel like it filled out the song way more than the original one did.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So okay. that's the only difference that I'd say would improve it. Gokigen Sayonara I didn't like as much, just because it trying to fit the lyrics in to Korean without saying the words Gokigen Sayonara just kind of made it sound a bit weird for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because maybe just because I'm used to hearing it one way as opposed to the other.
Yeah, I'm always usually, like, I always think the version that comes out first is usually just the better version, because you get used to it, and it's what it was originally meant to be. There are a couple exceptions to that, but yeah, like, I kind of agree. I'd probably still listen to the Japanese version over the Korean version. My
perfect blend would be, like, a 12-member version of Japanese.
Of the Japanese version.
Neko ni like Neko ni Naritai and Gokigen Sayonara. So like 12 like full-member versions, just because I feel like they fill out the song a lot more than just like the unit, like the small unit versions. But I mean, yeah, it's just I think just this as a sign of them not completely ignoring the fact that they do music in Japan is a nice sort of touch. Like this song, I think these songs were produced by like AKS, like it was worked on by like the Japanese team in charge of like AKB48, and I'm glad that they're not just completely ignoring the fact that they exist just because they're promoting in Korea. So that's a really good sign of just like how serious they're taking both sides of their promotion.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for us. Yeah, obviously the next song, we talked about both of them there, but the other one is Gokigen Sayonara. There's a Korean version of that as well. But yeah, so we'll get to our scores. And for me, I gave it a 6 out of 7 for music. I really liked everything. There were a couple of things that were a little bit of a miss, but overall, I thought it was a fantastic album. And I gave it a full 3 out of 3 for concept, because I love the music video. Like you said, we talked about that. It's really aesthetic. It's really well done. The choreography is really good. Their styling is really good. Just everything about the concept was perfect. So I give it a 9 out of 10 overall.
I actually gave it the same score. Surprisingly, I did not expect to give this a 9 out of 10 with my new ranking system being more strict. But how I broke it up is I gave perfect marks 3.5 for the single Violeta. Like Violeta's a song of the year candidate, in all honesty. Like that's how much I love this song. Like, and I can't wait if they go to if we end up seeing them, because we're gonna go for you listeners, we're gonna go to MTV the show, and there's a good possibility that that IZONE will be promoting Violeta while we're there. I can't wait to see this live stage, and I can't wait to see it at like KCON or whatever. Like I'm just so I'm just so hyped for this group, in all honesty, or it just reinvigorated or reminded me why I love this group so much. And I gave a 3 out of 3.5 for the album. Despite Hey Bae Like It existing, I loved everything else pretty much, so it didn't drag it down the score too much. Concept, I gave 2.5 out of 3. I'd say like maybe showing a bit more of the choreography would be the only mark I could have against it. Yeah, but that's how I broke up my 9 out of 10. And yeah, just IZONE is just like at this stage of their career or their existence as a group. I know I wasn't around for IOI, and I kind of just didn't pay attention as much to 101, but I feel like at this point, I think they're talent-wise or just music-wise, they've put out better music than any of the other produced groups have at this point in their career. I mean, like you had like IOI, I feel like really didn't hit their stride until Nomu Nomu Nomu, and like 101, they went from like the high of energetic, and then they kind of like right now, like IZONE is like this, and then they went like this for me, like in all honesty, and it's very rare that groups do that. So just like their career trajectory at this point is just looking really good, and I hope that like the type of quality, the level of quality that Off the Record is putting into IZONE just is continuous. Hopefully it rubs off on like From His 9 as well. Like I'm really excited for what their music output will be for the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Want to read off Jacob's notes?
Yeah, I'll read off both of there. So Jacob doesn't have notes. He didn't have time to write them up yet, but we're going to put them in the description. But he gave us a score. So he gave them a 5 out of 7 for music and a 2 out of 3 for concept. So a 7 out of 10 overall. He's a hater.
How do I give a higher score than Jacob for once?
And then also, Cooper is also a hater. Cooper said, this album is definitely a step up from their debut, though I do like La Vie en Rose more than Violeta. It feels pretty similar in structure, except the drop is a house beat. The B-sides here are much stronger, particularly Up and Airplane. The MV is beautiful once again, and their choreo looks really smooth even with 12 members. The Japanese songs here still don't impress me much at all. They feel too long and don't add anything to this album. The Japanese members still struggle with vocals. This stands out particularly on Really Like You, where I winced a couple times. Overall, this is a solid first comeback, and I look forward to seeing where they go from here. And he gave music a 5 out of 7 and a concept 2.5 out of 3, so a 7.5 out of 10.
So, doing the math and putting that into the calculator, we're going to get an average of
8.
Damn it, this didn't get it.
Too low.
How am I the one that gives the high score and we don't manage to give it a truly Daebak?
Because the things you like, everyone hates, apparently. I guess. I don't know where they're getting their... Well, I don't know where Jacob's getting a 2 out of 3 for concept. Lord. But yeah.
They're haters. They don't care about choreography as much. So, what are your thoughts on IZONE's Heart Eyes? What did you like, Violeta? Did you think it was a good enough follow up? Which was your favorite album track? Are you more excited about IZONE now or less excited? Definitely let us know in the comments what your thoughts are in this group. Because again, I'm just surprised at how much I ended up liking this group, for how much in crisis I was at the end of Produce 48, considering, oh no, I'm gonna like this group less than 101. But yeah, the way it's shaping up, this group might be my IOI, like how IOI is to you, Nate. IZONE might be that to me, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that'll do it for ProduceCast episode 10. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please subscribe, like, so it'll help our whatever likes do. I don't know what likes do, in all honesty. YouTube's algorithm
your videos show up in like suggestions and stuff.
I guess. So yeah, if you want our videos to sort of spread and let everyone else know how we do things, definitely leave a like, subscribe to keep up to date with whatever we're doing with ProduceCast or our other shows. Definitely leave a comment, or you can, if you want to reach us, you can find us either on Twitter at Truly Daebak. You can find our personal Twitters located under our windows. Or if you want to reach us the fastest, please join our Discord server. Our Discord server is mucho lit. We are on there all the time. We love interacting with our fans and our listeners. We do a lot of fun stuff like discography. We should probably do an IOI discography listen or like a song rating.
Well, it's the next song rating is IOI branch groups, but it's all of IOI's music because they only have like 20 songs.
Okay, so basically it's an excuse for you to give everything. It's an excuse for you to give everything a 10.
It's all going to be all of IOI's music plus all of the singles from the branch groups.
Yeah, so basically in our Discord server, we just sort of rank songs kind of like how we do our reviews. Just compare and contrast notes or likes and dislikes, see who has similar ideas. So it's a fun thing to participate in.
We yell at each other a lot.
And yeah, we yell at each other occasionally.
Bad opinions, like Cooper giving TT a 4 out of 10.
What the hell? Like, I mean, like,
yes,
TT...
Cooper has bad taste.
At this point, I don't think it's the best song, but it's not a 4. Anyway, if you want to take part in the fun, definitely join our Discord server. That said, I mean, we don't have anything else until... we don't have anything else until the show starts up in May. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Maybe if we see IZONE at MTV The Show, we could do a little topic on that. We're going to Korea in a couple weeks, so that's going to be exciting. Hopefully, I'll definitely be spending a lot on... I'm probably going to buy the IZONE light stick over there, in all honesty.
Oh, I'm 100% buying it.
Yeah. Just because it's like it looks like that popping thing, like the lawnmower.
yeah, the little kid toy.
Or it looks like Dippin' Dots or whatever. Anyway, we'll definitely keep you up to date on whatever we do in Korea. So, with that said, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and until next time, oyasumi nasai.
Throbbingly oyasumi nasai.
They've just been hanging out a lot together, it seems. I don't know if they have any official plans. Like, what they've done lately is, or that's high profile is, they had a dispatch photo shoot, and they threw out the first pitch at a Nexen Heroes baseball game. I don't know how they got chosen for it, but that's actually pretty cool.